It's time for the Coach's Corner Show with your host, Pat Disabato.
Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'm your host, Pat Disabato from the Southtown Star newspaper, and we are at Eisenhower High School, home of the Fighting Cardinals in lovely Blue Island. Cardinals off to a great start, 2-0 victories over Rich East and Urban Prep West in week 2. Big game Friday night. They host District 218 rivals Shepherd, 7 o'clock here in the island. Going to be a great game. Shepherd off to an 0-2 start. They need this win badly. Eisenhower would like to extend that undefeated mark to 3-0. So clash of the District 218 powers will happen here Friday night. And of course, coming from my heart, I'm an Eisenhower guy, proud grad of Eisenhower High School, and a native of the island where it's always 82 and sunny. All right, folks, when we come back, head coach Travis Moore will be our guest from Eisenhower. Travis, 26-33, 7th season at the helm, has led the Cardinals to 3 postseason appearances in 6 years. Travis, a great guy, 2000 graduate of Eisenhower, Northern Illinois University graduate, outstanding career playing football at Northern as well. So we'll have on Travis when we get back. Going to a Beggar's Pizza timeout right now. Beggar's Pizza, they lay it on thick. We'll be back.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
I'm a pepperoni sausage, green peppers and onions. Don't forget the extra cheese, large pizza. Oh, by the way, I also make house calls. Beggar's Pizza, we lay it on thick.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest Athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
If you're in the mood for some of the finest barbecue in the Southland, then Bona Pit Grill and Smokehouse in Palos Heights is the place for you and your family. Whether it's ribs, chicken, brisket, pulled pork, or any other barbecue favorites, Bona Pit serves up a flavor explosion in a championship form. We also offer steaks, seafood, sandwiches, a mouth-watering nachos platter, and salads in a casual atmosphere, with the option of either dining inside or on our heated patio. Watch the big game in our full-service bar, or call ahead for pickup. Bona Pit in Palos Heights. Hello, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. If you haven't figured it out just yet, we are at Eisenhower High School in historic Blue Island. Our guest this week, Cardinal football coach Travis Moore. Travis, thanks for coming on board again, my man.
Thank you.
Proud 2000 grad of Eisenhower High School, and Cardinals are off to a great start, 2-0 on the season, including a very important win over Rich East back in week 1. And you ask, why is it important, week 1 win over Rich East? First time the Cardinals have beat Rich East in 7 years, man, 30-25. So what was it like to finally walk off that field and say we beat Rich East?
You know, it's just a tremendous feeling of accomplishment from a coach's standpoint with our preparation. Just seeing the joy and excitement in our kids for persevering and going through a lot of adversity throughout the game and coming away with a victory.
Yep. Well, but besides the fact, you know, you're 2-0 in the win-loss column, what's the biggest benefit for your team, this particular group, to start the season 2-0?
You know, with football, you use the word a lot, and we use that word called momentum.
Yep.
This definitely gives us momentum starting our season off, and hopefully it will propel us through the weeks coming.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about that Rich East game. Afterwards, and I was at that game, obviously, covering it, I talked to your quarterback, Deion Parker, did a great job, hit a couple 52-yard touchdown passes, and he's overcome with emotion, man. He's got tears in his eyes after he wins. I mean, it's the first game of the season, man. So what does that say about your players and the heart and their dedication to be overcome with emotion like that in week 1?
You know, it just speaks volumes and talks about a lot of things we've been saying as a staff all year long. Family, staying together and playing together, and just seeing Deion in that moment and being so animated in a sense. But that was all based off everything he was willing to give and gave for his teammates, and that was the moment where he let it all out.
Yep.
And that's what normally happens when you're so close and you're so in tune with a group like we are as a staff and team.
Yep, and you know, I've covered a majority of those losses, those first 6 years, man. And every way you could lose a game, you guys found a way to lose a game against them. And every year, the following year, all the kids are like, "We're going to be the team to beat Rich East. We're going to be the team to beat Rich East." And it looked like 19-0. You guys are down early in the second quarter. You make a tremendous comeback and pulled out that win. So I can understand what Deion's emotion, man. You know what I mean? It's 6 years, and you finally beat this team. So, offensive line, very inexperienced group. You graduated the majority of your guys from last season. How would you gauge the offensive line's development to this point, Travis?
You know, they're getting better and better week to week. We have a great offensive line coach in John Rome. He's a Simeon grad. He takes a lot of pride and work with the offensive line as well as our offensive coordinator, Vince Holmes, of the last 5 years. We basically go week to week and we just try to make adjustments to be better. We won't let our inexperienced line define us or be an excuse for our lack of success or success.
Yeah.
So I think with the group of coaches we have working with those guys as well as those guys' commitment, we'll be fine and we'll see through it.
Because what do you have, 3 juniors on the line? Or?
We have 3 juniors and 1 returning starter in Tiante Gatewood and 1 returning player in Jordan Hughes.
Okay. So you got a little bit of experience.
Oh yeah, a little bit of experience. Just not a lot of playing experience, but they'll get that from week to week.
Yep. And in practice, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And I know both the Cohornans, but Gary Cohornan, he'll whip them into shape a little bit too, right? Even though he's on the defensive side, he'll whip those guys in shape, man.
He definitely will. Coach throughout the practice stops the offensive line with the whistle blowing, and he'll blow us whistle in a minute and say, "Hey, stop! This got to be done this way."
Yep.
And it's just such an honor and a blessing to be able to come to work every day and work with such a great guy.
A legend,
I feel light years ahead of my coaching experience working with Coach the last 2 years.
Yep. Absolutely.
So he definitely gets on that line and he pushes Coach Holmes and Coach Rome as well.
Yep. All right, well, you've got some outstanding skill players. Kids like T.J. Skelton at running back, Vince Colbert at running back, Lionel Hill at wide receiver, Ishmael Mitchell at wide receiver, and we talked about Deion Parker. Explosive guys who, anytime they touch the rock, they can take it to the house. How explosive can this offense be?
I mean, there's been a lot of dedication and time and effort and the preparation of getting these guys where they're at from Coach Vince Holmes, and I think that the sky is the limit with their ability and their playmaking abilities. They showcased it throughout the summer, this past summer, as well as in the off season. And I honestly think the sky's the limit.
Now, when you have that many skill players, you know, sometimes these egos can get involved with some of these guys. They want the ball more. How has this group been? They've been unselfish? They team-oriented, or what?
Well, that goes back to our family culture we create from every coach on down, as well as within the team with the captains. And our team knows there's one ball.
Yep.
There's one ball. There's many guys that can carry the ball. But as long as we trust in each other and take care of each other, it'll open up many opportunities for everyone else.
Yep.
You know, so that's how if you're not getting the ball, make sure you block. And if you block and you're doing a good job and the running back's doing a good job, then eventually it's going to open up for you at the receiver position. So we all have to take care of each other in a sense.
And they bought in. These guys have bought in.
Completely.
That's the key.
Great group of young men.
All right, so we're going to go to Lisa Thomas Salon timeout. Folks, go to lisathomassalon.com, especially you students, man. You flash that high school student ID, $17 for a haircut for the guys, $27 for the girls. Quite the deal at Lisa Thomas Salon. When we come back, you know, myself, Travis, proud alums of Eisenhower. There's an Eisenhower alum that is now on a 53-man roster in the NFL. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about the big matchup Friday night here. Shepherd, Eisenhower, bringing the Astros in. 0-2 Shepherd coming to the island. All right, so we'll talk about that with Coach Moore as well as our guy Brandon Williams with the Carolina Panthers, so stay tuned.
What team doesn't want to be in style with the latest trends? What team doesn't want the hottest cuts at an affordable price? It's time to get noticed with the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club, where girls get a cut in style for just $27 and guys get a cut in style for just $17. Get the right look for the right price at the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club. Your style, perfect style. Only at Lisa Thomas Salon.
For over 60 years, Standard Bank has been a part of your neighborhood, supporting sports and other activities, working with communities as they grow and thrive, helping businesses and families to reach their financial goals. In communities all over Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana, your neighborhood is our neighborhood. We can help you reach your financial goals. To learn about products like Check Free, our super secure service that saves you time and money and makes it easy to pay your bills online, visit standardbanks.com. Member FDIC.
If you're in the mood for some of the finest barbecue in the Southland, then Bona Pit Grill and Smokehouse in Palos Heights is the place for you and your family. Whether it's ribs, chicken, brisket, pulled pork, or any other barbecue favorites, Bona Pit serves up a flavor explosion in a championship form. We also offer steaks, seafood, sandwiches, a mouth-watering nachos platter, and salads in a casual atmosphere, with the option of either dining inside or on our heated patio. Watch the big game in our full-service bar or call ahead for pickup. Bona Pit in Palos Heights. All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. We are in Cardinal Country, Eisenhower High School, 127th in Sacramento, in the island, as we native islanders like to refer to it as. So, all right, Travis. Brandon Williams, man, a kid you coached, I think that was your first year, right?
Yes.
First year. Tremendous talent, played basketball and football. Went to Joliet Junior College, ended up going to Oregon. Had an injury his senior year, kind of fell out of the, a football career. I mean, the way it all develops kind of crazy, but it happened, and he made the 53-man roster with the Carolina Panthers as a tight end. So when you got the call from him and he said, "Coach, it's a lock, I'm on," man, what was going through your mind? Because he is a tremendous person, man.
He's a great kid, and fortunate enough for me being in the coaching business, I can meet kids like that and watch them grow and develop. I was actually sitting right next to Coach Mike Emanuelson. At the time was Eisenhower's head football coach, and Mike brought me on staff to work with the defensive ends. And the first thing I said to Mike, I said, "Coach, can I get a chance to coach that kid?"
Yeah.
And Mike was like, "Sure, you can coach him." And I said, "Well, I'm gonna put him at DN. I got a little experience from playing at Northern." And from that point on, from as far as playing a defensive end, his career took off with me. And I just watched this kid work and put in the time and effort to be great at that position. And he transitioned to a tight end and became just as good.
Yeah.
In college.
And just a physical specimen.
Oh,
folks.
yeah.
You see this kid, man. He's 6'4", like 240, 250. He's just ripped, and he's great hands, a great blocker, and just, like I said, man, a great person. So, all right, we talked about Shepherd, and you should know this. You're gonna have a pretty nice crowd here. The 1968 class, Eisenhower class, they're coming on board here Friday. They're gonna come home, cheer on the Cardinals, support them against the Astros. Okay, but 0-2, man. They're going to be playing like they have to have this one. They don't want to start 0-3. What do you tell your kids? They look at Shepherd 0-2. We're 2-0, easy win. How do you avoid your team overlooking Shepherd on Friday?
It's just about keeping our focus and maintaining our mindset prior to the season even starting. And our focus and mindset was week to week. Yeah. Right now, our opponents don't have a face or a name. It's pretty much battling ourselves, because the game, as many have been told, is 90% mental. Yep. So if we can get through the mental aspect of being 2-0 and Shepherd being 0-2, and understand that that's just a record, and any given Friday night, any team can come that's more prepared to win, and that's the most important thing. Yep. It's not really about Shepherd at all. It's about doing what we prepared to do prior to the season starting.
So what do you think the key, after looking at the film on Shepherd and seeing what your team has done the first 2 weeks of the season, what do you think is going to be the key for you guys to pull this thing out and go to 3-0?
The key with any victory would be staying together and sticking to the game plan. Coach Pastelano, I have a huge amount of respect for him. Those guys look well coached, very disciplined, and look like they're an assignment-type team. And so in order to beat a team like that, we have to be just as good at being fundamentally sound and doing our assignments. And that's going to be the key initially, because they're a well-coached team, and Coach has a good reputation for getting his players to play.
Now, in your 6 years as head coach, this is your 7th, Cardinals have qualified 3 times for the playoffs under you, and that's an unprecedented stretch of success for any coach in Eisenhower history. What do you think this team can do? Do you think this team has the makings of a team that could finish 5-4, 6-3, qualify for the playoffs for the 4th time in 7 years, or what?
I definitely think this team has the making, and the reason I say that is not because of talent, skill, or ability. It really stems from the leadership that's been shown throughout, from seniors like Deion Parker, Alec Esparza, Josh Akins, Tremaine Franklin, Tiante Gaywood. I can go on and on, KJ Swain,
Yep.
about these seniors and their leadership. And if you have leadership, I'm a firm believer that if people lead, others will follow. And as long as we got great young men leading, the sky is the limit for our success.
And it would be a great story, because how many teams have started out trailing 19-0 and come back and qualify for the playoffs? You know what I mean? That's a great story. And me being a writer, sports writer, I'm looking for that story. That's a nice angle for me, man, selfishly. You know what I'm saying?
That wasn't in the game plan. We never prepared to come in and say, hey, we're going to teach a life lesson here. It kind of happened that way. But I'm glad through our preparation and talking about adversity and dealing with things in their life and just getting over things and hurdles and obstacles, we were able to relate all that into that football field that day.
Yeah.
And I swear it was no magic words, no magic secrets. At halftime, myself, staff, we said, hey, what have we talked about all year long? What have we talked about? And we talked about adversity. This is a form of it. And we gotta be able to get through this. And those guys came together and they did.
Yep. Well, you know, I know you've got good numbers pretty much throughout the program from you and I talking before. So are you happy with where the program is from freshman, sophomore, varsity? And I know this sophomore group in particular is a pretty successful group. This is a good group of kids.
Yeah, you know, I'm very, very excited, actually. We talk as a coaching staff every day. Our head freshman coach is Jeremy Rodriguez. He's been with me and on staff the last 6 years of my tenure. And they're at like 55 kids on the freshman level. Our sophomore level is at about 45 kids right now, with a combined record so far of 2-0.
Yeah.
Sophomores won last week 50-0, the week before 42-0.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of promise in our future.
My guy Zach Cozy, we verified he's Italian, so that's a good thing with Cozy. Tight end, and
he's a stud
baseball player too.
He's a great kid, great athlete, former Alsa Falcon. We're blessed to have that kid.
Yep.
He can stretch the field, and I know he throws a heck of a curveball.
That's good. I'm a little partial to the baseball program. You know what I'm saying? A lot of blood, sweat, and tears on that baseball field over there. So I like to see the Cardinals flying high. And in all sports, but baseball, I really like to see them flying high.
Yeah, he's a baseball player.
So program's sitting good. You like the freshman numbers? Everything's up then, huh?
Yeah, the numbers are up. The sophomores are competing at a high rate. They've scored 92 points in the last 2 weeks, giving up 0.
Yep.
And I know they're excited about getting into conference play as well. I think at times when I look at that sophomore group, I think they're just as talented as our second string guys on the varsity.
Yeah.
And that makes us very excited on the varsity level.
That's a good problem to have, man.
Great problem to have. I'll take that problem any day.
All right, Travis. Thanks a lot, man, for coming on board again. Always a pleasure. Good luck this week and the rest of the season. All right, to the Cardinals.
All right,
Fighting Cardinals, baby, right?
Go Cards. Fighting Cardinals, definitely.
All right, folks, we are going to go to an athletics timeout. Our good friend Tom Movey at Athletics. And come back, get out those cell phones, Standard Bank textbook question of the week. Chance to win a $50 gift card, and it will have some Eisenhower flavor. So make sure you Eisenhower fans stick around and have a chance to win 50. All right, we'll see you in a little bit.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest Athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion. Looking for a unique dining experience with incredible food? Then check out Labriola Bakery Cafe. Opened by Rich Labriola, Chicago's premier artisan baker, you know they'll have great bread, but you won't believe the rest of their menu. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizzas, fresh pasta, and their world-famous Richie Burger. There's also homemade gelato and, of course, their famous bread. Labriola Bakery Cafe and Neapolitan Pizzeria, conveniently located in the Oak Brook Promenade.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
I'm a half sausage for you and your husband and a half just cheese for the kids, who never seem to stop moving. Go ahead and take the night off, Mom. I got you covered. Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick.
Hello and welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'd like to thank Eisenhower football coach Travis Moore for being our guest. All right, folks, get out those cell phones. It's time for the Standard Bank text poll question of the week. Chance to win a $50 gift card, compliments of Standard Bank. All right, when was the last time Eisenhower's football team won a conference championship? All right, text A for 1999. Text B for 1985, text C for 2011, text D for 2008. All right? Call 708-365-8501. Text your response, A, B, C, or D. Texter number 4 with the correct response wins a $50 gift card, compliments of Standard Bank. And I want to clarify something because I know there's going to be some smart Alex out there. I know that the 1968 class of Eisenhower is attending the game Friday. I'm not a member of that class. I was barely born at that time, so I don't want any smart aleck comments coming my way. All right, let's just clarify that right now. Jerky, you're a lot closer to 1968 than I am. That's cameraman Gerard Grabowski. All right, folks, let's go over the results segment here, sponsored by Athletics, Sports, and Orthopedic Physical Therapy. All right, the game I was at, Sandburg 42, Andrew 35. Great game, one of the greatest games in that rivalry's history. Sandburg now 9-1 all-time against Andrew. Jacob Platt, 21 of 28, 222 yards, 3 TDs. Jarvian Franklin, 19 carries, 100 yards, 2 TDs. And Nino Sanfilippo, a fellow Paisan, had touchdown catches of 11 and 13 yards for Andrew. For Sandburg, Sean Leland, 11 of 17, 176 yards, 3 scores. Sean, stud baseball player. He's already committed to Louisville. Lavelle Johnson had touchdown catches of 22 and 64 yards, and Brian Langowski had the game-winning 6-yard touchdown run with 36.7 seconds left to win it for the Eagles. Richards 31, Batavia 26, first time in 20 home games Batavia has lost in the comforts of their own yard. Hassan Muhammad Rogers, 258 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Ryan Willett had a 51-yard TD reception. Takari Carpenter had touchdown catches of 10 and 78 yards, and Spencer Tears had a 29-yard TD reception. For the Bulldogs who travel to Lamont Friday night, I'll be there, be square. Might have to stop at Nick's for a 1-pound burger pregame. Lincoln Way East 17, Lincoln Way Central 12. Cale Hayes hit Cam Post on a 15-yard touchdown pass. Hayes also had a 1-yard TD run for Central. For Lincoln Way East, Marcus Cosby, 91-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Jordan Wirtz had a 1-yard TD run, and Anthony Ciarini with a 27-yard field goal for the Griffins. Marist 55, Brother Rice 14. The Pulaski Road Super Bowl wasn't very super. Marcus Jones had a 6-yard TD run for Rice. For Marist, Jack Donegan, 21 of 25, 338 yards, 6 TDs. Nick Wisher, 9 catches, 154 yards, 3 TDs. Flynn Nagel, 5 catches, 119 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the Redhawks. HF 28, Stevenson 21. Deontay Harley Hampton, 13 carries, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns, plus he had a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown for HF. Isaac Cutrara had a 7-yard touchdown pass. For the Vikings, now 2-0. Providence, see that? You get Coach Cogs on the show. You get my boy Dominic Lagone on the show, and what do? They come out with a victory. They knock off Manuka 38-21. Dominic Lagone, big game, 19 carries, 136 yards, 4 TDs. Justin Hunnifer, 13 of 23, 179 yards and a TD, and Miles Boykin had 3 catches for 58 yards and a TD. All right, the Labriola Bakery Cafe Golden Baguette Player of the Week. It was very tough competition for this award, this $25 gift card from Labriola Bakery Cafe, but we're giving it to Marist quarterback Jack Donegan. 21 of 25, 338 yards, 6 touchdown passes. Very Peyton Manning-esque. 55-14 win over Rice. We'll hook up Jack with a nice $25 gift card. Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club Player of the Week. Lincoln Way East volleyball player Taylor Nurchie, 22 assists to lead the Griffins past Moline in straight sets. We're going to send Taylor out with a nice goodie bag filled with gift cards, products, all kinds of good stuff from Lisa Thomas Salon. And the Bona Pit Grill and Smokehouse Coach of the Week. We got to give it to Mariners coach Pat Dunn. Team loses a heartbreaker to St. Rita in week 1, bounces back against the arch rival, knocks off Brother Rice, 55-14. We're going to hook him up with a nice $25 gift card from Bona Pit Grill and Smokehouse, 122nd and Harlem in Palos Heights. Come back after this Labriola Bakery timeout, high and tight.
Looking for a unique dining experience with incredible food? Then check out Labriola Bakery Cafe. Opened by Rich Labriola, Chicago's premier artisan baker, you know they'll have great bread, but you won't believe the rest of their menu. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizzas, fresh pasta, and their world-famous Richie Burger. There's also homemade gelato and, of course, their famous bread. Labriola Bakery Cafe and Neapolitan Pizzeria, conveniently located in the Oak Brook Promenade.
What teen doesn't want to be in style with the latest trends? What teen doesn't want the hottest cuts at an affordable price? It's time to get noticed with the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club, where girls get a cut in style for just $27 and guys get a cut in style for just $17. Get the right look for the right price at the Lisa Thomas Salon Teen Club. Your style, perfect style. Only at Lisa Thomas Salon.
Since 1970, Standard Bank & Trust has been a landmark at the corner of 95th and Western. We're still at the same convenient location, and we are better equipped to serve your needs. So stop by and meet our friendly, professional staff. They provide personalized service and a wide range of products to help both businesses and individuals reach their financial goals. In the Evergreen Park area and in communities all over Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana, we're your neighborhood bank. Learn more at standardbanks.com. Member FDIC.
Hello, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. All right, folks, high and tight. There's a lot of good stories so far in the early going of this high school football season, but two of the best stories, Marian Catholic and Stagg High School's football programs. Both were 1-8 last season, now off to 2-0 starts, and both have new coaches. Stagg handed over the reins to Mike Fahey, finally getting a shot to run his own program. Charters are off to a great start. Jerry Verdi left Marian Catholic, won the 6A state championship last year, goes back to his alma mater at Marian, who was 1-8 a year ago, 0-18 on the lower levels, and he has them at 2-0 right now. So two great stories going on. Marian Catholic hosts Carmel of Mundelein on Friday night, 7:30. Stagg is at Lincoln Way East Friday night, the Class 7A runner-up, and it's their homecoming game at Lincoln Way East. So, they're thinking they got a win going on. But good luck to both teams. Hope you enjoyed the show, folks. We'll see you next week. Have a great week.